Hi, Samantha. That's a lot of books behind.
I like books.
Wonderful background. Wonderful. Welcome, everybody.
Hi,
Super.
Lemore.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Hi. Hi, Jack.
Good morning.
So you
Morning.
know how much we love the
Morning.
weather and talking about where you come from. So drop in the chat. Where are you
Here we
calling
go.
in from? What's the time? What's the weather like? We've just had a lot of rain in Cape Town after a massive heat wave, and it is divine, just divine.
Ah, and here in the middle US, we have some spring arriving. So we're looking for some better weather. I'm not logging in today on a blizzard and a snowstorm. So that's lovely. Welcome, welcome. It's nice to have everybody here. Drop that note into the chat. It is my pleasure to welcome you on behalf of VSAI. My name is Dr. Selena Pierman, and I have the privilege of serving as your Education Task Force Chair. So drop those notes into the chat. We're not going to hold up this show today. We will offer some announcements as we go along, but I'm going to turn the floor over to Lindsay Adams for just a moment to share with us our latest updates on the upcoming GSS conference. Oh, lost Lindsay. Okay, we'll bring it back to Lindsay. All right. Oh, go. All right, never mind. We missed that cue. Chantel, why don't you pick it up from there? We're going to start off with some first networking and then go to our main guest this morning.
Perfect. Well, as all of you know or should know by now, I'm all about relationships, all about networking, but I'm all about networking beyond the pitch, right? So we're going to dive into some breakaway rooms this morning, just kind of ease our way into this morning's session. And I've got two questions for you this morning. And what we want to do is we want to share our wins, because when we share our wins, what we do is we create this psychology or this physiology of success. And more wins create more wins, right? So that's your first task in the breakout room. Share a win. And even if your win was, you know what, that first cup of coffee went down a treat this morning, that's okay too. Okay. So we're not looking for these huge wins, but we're looking for something to be positive about and to get excited about. And then the second thing I'd like you to discuss in the breakout rooms is think about how this community can support you. You know, networking is all about someone in the room might have something that you're looking for. And when we share our vision, maybe someone picks up on that. So share your vision, share something that we could potentially support you with. Maybe it won't happen today, but you never know what comes out of these conversations. Selena, how are we looking for those breakout rooms?
They
Ready?
should be appearing on everybody's screens. This is a quick share for 6 minutes and we'll bring you back. Welcome back. We hope that in that conversation, we know it is a quick one. And when you let speakers talk, that conversation could go on for a long time, but we hope that you were able to find some energy or maybe a resource that you needed today. And it doesn't stop there. We have the rest of this time together and of course beyond to reach out, to drop a note in the chat, share that win with this wider community as we transition over to our main event for this time. We're also going to be putting some things in the chat as we go through. We'll highlight them again at the end of the hour regarding upcoming events. Chantel, anything else you want to say as we wrap up that moment of building community and sharing?
You know what I wanted to share? Something came up in our breakout room, and someone said she just needed a virtual hug this morning. And you know, so often we come to these things and we want to learn and we want to connect and we want to pitch, right? So virtual hugs for everyone today. Sometimes we just need a little bit of love, and let's not forget that in this community.
Thank you. Thank you. What a fantastic way to transition us into our VSAI member and invited guest to lead this session with us today. Eytan is an internationally renowned expert and lecturer with 17 years of experience in personality assessment based on facial features, emotion decoding, and body language. The owner of Profiler College and author of The Complete Guide to Reading Facial Features, Body Language, and Micro Expressions, he guides and trains businesses and security organizations in Israel and worldwide. And yet, today, he has asked us not to give any more details. Rather, he'd rather show us. So with that, I am going to welcome to the stage, Eytan. It's super to have you with us.
Thank you very much. Good morning to everyone. I'm very, very excited. And before I start the presentation and show and all that, who has the courage to have me analyze his face? Who puts his hands up, let's see, who puts his hand up? Yeah, Marjorie. Okay, so I'm adding you to the spotlight, and I'm looking at you, Marjorie. And firstly, do we know each other? No, we never met. This is the first time I'm seeing you. So can you just take us for a second, your glasses off for a few seconds? I just want to see your beautiful eyes. You can send them back. You can put back your glasses. You can put back your glasses. And what do I see on you, Marjorie? First of all, the one thing is interesting is that you think 10 steps ahead. So what I'm talking about, you look at things from above. You like to have things move fast. When I'm talking things move fast, you don't have the patience for things to go slowly. You need to move to get things moving fast. You try and be as accurate as possible. When you see things, you are very, 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 you can see and pinpoint problems or mistakes very, very quickly. You are very, very, very accurate at what you do. You take upon yourself a lot. You're not scared of taking upon yourself things. You take a lot upon yourself, and you do read people. Okay, you have the ability to read people. When I'm talking about reading people, I've learned it, and I'm testing, and I'm showing you have this senses. You have the sixth sense of understanding people and reading them when you see them. Am I correct?
That's all positive things, and thank you very much for sharing that. Yes, I would say that would be accurate, and I hope that they're accurate.
It's from your point of view of being accurate, and it's I think it's very, very strong, very, very strong. Thank you so much. Who else? One more before we start the session. Who else wants to take in? Sandeep. Okay. Add spotlight. Okay, I'm looking at you, Sandeep. I love your name, by the way, Sandeep. It's very strong. So firstly, if you look at Sandeep, he has a line going across all the way to the top. What does this line mean? It means that you are very, very capable person. Whatever you do very well. You have this ability to do things very well. You also try and be very accurate at all you do. Okay, when you do things, you're very accurate. You pick up on things very quickly. You're a quick thinker. You pick things very quickly. You love doing things your own way. Okay, it's hard for you to let others do things. You take upon yourself too much. You love action. You love when things happen. You love being on a move, doing things. You are competitive. You have to be the best at what you do. You don't compromise or being second at what you do. And money is not that what leads you in life. Money is just a way to move on, but that doesn't interest you, making money. And what else I see is that you love projects. You don't like to be stuck on the same spot for too long. You love doing different things throughout your life.
This is so exciting. I can't wait for the rest of the session. Thank you.
Pleasure, pleasure. By the way, I'm saying it now. If I forget, whoever wants, okay, because this session is less than an hour, whoever wants, we can have a session of me reading your faces. Whoever wants for the next 2 weeks, feel comfortable. And I also written my number. You can send the WhatsApp number, and in the next 3 weeks, we can have me face reading. Whoever wants to be face read with free, not charge. Okay, so feel comfortable, and let's dive in. I'm gonna add the presentation, and we're going to dive into this presentation. So let's begin. I'll make sure there's sound. Yeah, there's sound.
See, we have.
You do the
There we go.
presentation.
Now you're back. Now you're back. Now you're back. I'm going to spotlight you though. One moment.
Okay, and you can see this presentation. Yes, you see it.
Yes, we can see the presentation.
Okay.
Now I can hear you.
Okay.
Good, hear you. Good.
So let's dive in. I have a small. So firstly, I'll say a few words about myself, not too much, because I want to show you things. So I've been doing this for 17 years. I was born in South Africa. When I turned 3, I came to Israel. When I turned 13, my mom passed away. So we went back to South Africa. And when I finished high school, I came back to Israel. I live in Israel for the last almost more than 40 years. Yeah, 40 years exactly, 40 years. I'm 50, almost 59 years old. I work, like was said, with lots of groups, and I want to introduce to you my amazing family, because it's very versatile. And also, I told you that I lived in South Africa, and I lived in South Africa during the apartheid days, where there were buses for blacks, buses for whites, schools for whites, schools for blacks. So it's an honor for me to show you my family. So my wife, as you see, the beautiful lady, she worked in the American Embassy for 27 years. Next to her is my eldest daughter, who is now 24 years old. On the right is my central daughter, who got married a year and a half ago to Elijah, and they gave birth to my granddaughter 4.5 months ago. So I'm delighted and excited. And on the far right, this is my youngest daughter, and she is in the army now. And if you look to the other side, this young boy, this amazing boy, he's now almost 13 years old, and we are a foster family for almost 12 years for him. He was born in Israel, but his family, his parents ran away from Eritrea, and he lives with us for 11 years. So when I'm talking about my identity, this family is part of my identity, and I love them very much, and it was very important for me to show you. What are we going to talk about today? We're going to master a few things on body language and a bit on face reading. And if we have time, few applications and things that we're going to talk about how we can improve our presentation and how we can improve our coverage across the network. And my first question to you is, and before we go to my first questions, we must understand that the science behind what we are going to talk is, first of all, the non-verbal cues evolved before language actually started. We use body language to express ourselves for survival and to communicate. We have certain universal expressions that are transcended across cultural, and our emotion, we have the limbic system that our emotional brain creates expressions before we're actually aware of them. And it says that the more we use body language, the better speakers we can be. And if we talk about the face as a map of communication, we have more than 43 facial muscles that create more than 10,000 possible expressions. It takes less than half a second to reveal a person's micro expression. We have 7 universal emotions. And if we talk about face reading, you have more than 110 facial traits that tell us about the person's personality. And when presenting, I'm starting with questions, and you can even answer if you wish. Which is more impactful, sitting when we're giving a presentation online or standing? Okay, what is better to do? To sit when you do a presentation or to stand? I'm standing, and why am I standing? Okay, you can write down what do you think is more important, and I'll try and address. I'm looking. Definitely, yes, standing, standing, standing. When you guys give online lectures, it's advisable to stand, And why is it? It's because first of all, when we stand, first of all, energy-wise, standing naturally increases our energy, enthusiasm. It makes us more engaging. And when we talk about body language, we use hand gestures, and the movement reinforces a message. Our voice is so important, because when you stand, your voice is stronger and clear, and it creates a feeling of being more professional. This is very, very, very important. The body, very, very important. The body never lies. So before we go into a presentation, before we actually lecture, or when we lecture, it is great to do power poses, to expand ourselves, to be open-chested, to have our feet firmly planted on the ground. It's not good to be crossed arms and to be ourselves closed in, because it creates negative feelings. Okay, in Columbia University research, they say that posture improves audience retention by 42%. And my next question to you, which is a very, very important question, is when a person approaches you, what do you see in him first? What do you actually see? Eyes, Sandeep says. Come on, write down. What comes to you when a person approaches you? Face, the whole body vibes. So the answer is the hands, okay? Survival instinct. From an evolutionary perspective, our brain is wired for safety. When someone approaches us, our first subconscious question, are they a threat? So what reveals that? The hands. Because the hands hold weapons. Our ancestors, who quickly noticed rather hands were empty or dangerous, were more likely to survive. This instinct still exists in our modern nervous system. So when you talk on the Zoom, even if you sit, try and have your hands raised up as high as possible, because it shows that you are not dangerous. It leaves the people less feeling in a dangerous field. Now, the hand gestures, they speak lots and lots of volume. And when you, with an open palms, like in the picture in my hands, it shows that you are being honest, okay? And if you touch your face, it doesn't come too well, okay? Touching your face, these gestures, I see, yeah, I saw you, Chantel, that you had. We do it because we are listening, but when we touch your face, it creates a way of showing that we are not open. It doesn't mean we're not open. And pointing can suggest dominance, but handshake is also very, very, very important. And mistake that we must avoid, okay? Hiding our hands when we lecture, keeping our hands in the pockets or not showing our hands is not so great. Repeating the same body language and the same gestures too much can also be not good. Nervous fidgeting can send, when we play with objects or playing or doing this with our hands, it can create a problematic feelings. When we use our gestures expressive, okay, when we talk expressive, not going like this, like Donald Trump goes when he talks, okay, it's very, very important to talk lightly, okay, lightly with your hands, not too much, and it's very, very good. And I'm going to show you a few signs now, okay. This I'll leave out, but it's we're going to talk about few signs that it's after a great study that was taken. 1 second. A great study that was made. Second, it was. Sorry a second. We'll come back to the presentation. When we use, okay, it comes from the science of people. There was a big research that was made out of the TED talkers, and they found there are very some important signs to have. So one sign is when you list, like they show, like you see, listing, counting, tiny bit, okay. When you use your hands to show the information, it's very good. When you're doing listen up, this thing, it says it's a strong gesture. It's a way to use things in cautions, okay. It's very, very important. When you use your hand, I'm determined. By the way, Donald Trump also uses it a lot. He shows that he's very, very determined. And when you take your hands, you use it like this, wiping the slot clean. It is a very strong hand gesture to use. Small, medium, large. Can use when you present, use your hands. We tend to use less our hands. It's very, very important to use your hands. By the way, this is also a strong, if you look at Donald Trump, he always steeples. It's a very powerful movement. It shows strength, and it's very, very powerful. You can use your finger, but don't point at people. If you point at people, it can be not so good. If you want to show two things, I have this in my hand and I have this in my hands, I have this idea and this idea. When you do this, this is absolutely great. It improves your body language personally in loud crowds, but also on the internet. It's very, very, very good. Come together, okay, like Obama does. It shows a feeling that people are coming together. I'm great, okay? When I go like this, it shows I'm great. Don't be afraid to use this, me. When you try and convey something which is very, very important to you, use your hand, use it in your body language. And a quick tip for you is that don't try when you lecture, if you decide to use those signs, don't try and learn everything at once. It's very, very, very important to do small, one or two at a time. And when you talk on the phone, when you speak on the phone, try and do these signs. Try and do these signs. By the way, someone asked me, could we get the link to this website? It's an amazing website. I'll send to you the site. It's called Gamma, GAMMA. Jack asked it. It's an amazing presentation slides creator, and it helped me a lot. It's also very important to read the people, okay? So when you want to read the people, it's important to look at the way they are acting. The way they are acting, you lean forward with your body. When you see the people are leaning forward, you see that they are engaged, they are interested in what's happening. If they're taking notes, okay? If they're taking notes, it also provides and understanding that they are in this zone, what I say, when they nod to you, okay, it's also a way of them reading my signs and mirroring. What I mean mirroring, when they copy my body language, okay, when they copy your body language, it shows that they are in a deep connection, and it's very, very good to do so. When we talk about resistance signs, you have to be very careful. When we talk about crossed arms is a psychological barrier that indicates that the person is skeptic and disagrees, but it doesn't mean that he's so. When I was 6, 7, 8 years old, when I went to school, the teachers told us to sit like this, crossed arms. Okay, so it became part of me. I had to learn to change it, but it does give you a feeling that this person is not listening. For example, you're talking and giving a lecture, and suddenly when you said something and people rejected, they go like this with their body, you know they rejected what you said. Okay, so that's a way to convey. You also have what we call micro rejection, micro expressions. What is a micro expression? A micro expression is a sign, a brief facial expression that lasts less than half a second. And by the way, it's very, very important to learn about that. I will tell you a few things about that. But if we talk, you will, Jack, sorry to saw what you said. You will receive this presentation. Don't worry, I'm sending to everyone this presentation, so feel comfortable. Concerning what we talk about, what I said about the micro expressions, about 12 years ago, I came to a meeting with a CEO of a big company. I wanted to work with this company. And I came to this meeting with something that I'm not sure that you people know about, but many years ago, people went with business cards, physical business cards. And he looked at the business card and he saw profiler, face reader, body language expert, and that. And he went with his face, one side of his face went up. I said, Michael, I see that you don't relate to what I say. Let me analyze you. I analyzed him. He brought the whole team. I analyzed them. And then I worked for that company for 2 years. I worked with this company for 2 years, just from seeing his body language. So micro expression is very, very, very important to read and understand. And if we talk about closed body language, if you look at the right side, you can see this guy that is also, he has his hands and his legs crossed over. That means that he's in a distance from you. So it's not only for lectures, it's also for generally understanding people. The smile, people, the smile. Don't be afraid to smile. Okay, smile builds rapport. Smile is a positive learning environment. Okay, try and smile. When you have physical lectures, try and look at everyone. It's what we call W pattern. When you do this W pattern, it's very, very important. It creates a feeling that you are connected to everyone. Do it when you give lectures. When you give virtual lectures, you can try and see the people that you see and even address them or address what they're writing to you. But then it creates that we are connected to this presentation and to the people in front of us. And it's very important, okay, your face, okay, your face. For example, your face has to match what you say. For example, if we talk about I don't know if you know this guy, but he used to be a president, and he said, I did not have relationship with that woman, okay? Bill Clinton, when he was on the court, and he went, I did not. But I know that is not India, because in India they do like this, but saying I did not and the face goes the opposite conveys the opposite reaction. When we read the micro expressions, they last less than half a second. Okay, they reveal and conceal the emotion that everyone has. It's very important to identify the emotion. And once you identify the emotion, you have to try and understand what triggers this emotion, because time is very, very, very crucial. You have here the 7 different micro expressions. they sound like very simple: happiness, sadness, disgust, surprise, contempt, and anger and fear. But these emotions are half a second, less than half a second. So people try and hide them. It's very important to learn them. And if you want to learn all about lying and micro emotions, you must watch this. I'm not going to show it to you now because it's a long time, but there was a great film, which is called Lie to Me, and it's meant only for people who want to learn about lying. This magic, it went on for 2.5 years. The first year is very important to watch, because if you want to learn how, yes, it's York says it's a series, and it's important to learn because it's built on Paul Ekman. Dr. Paul Ekman is supposed to be the best profiler in the world, and you can actually learn by watching this series about how people lie. We won't see it now because it takes a long time, and I want to show you more information. And we're going now, okay, we're going into face reading, okay, face reading. And when we talk about face reading, first of all, when you talk about the roots, okay, the roots, they go back to the Chinese. And if we look on the right, we can see that on this person's face, you have hundreds of numbers. What does that mean, those 100 numbers? The Chinese analyze the face like people analyze the hand. Every year tells the story about a year of your life. So you have the 7 first years, which are the ears. The second is the ears. From in here, it's up to 28 years, from 40 to 28, from 28 to 50, from 50 to 75, and all around up to 100. And every part of your face tells the story. They also divide the face to 12 pillars. 12 pillars. And what are the 12 pillars? The 12 things that are most important for everyone in their life. If it's your parents, if it's your kids, if it's your love, if your wealth, if it's your happiness, if it's your traveling, if it's your friends, everything is said upon your face. But if we talk about the Western way of personology or face reading, the first person to actually write a book about it was Aristo, and Aristo was the mentor of Alexander Mokdon. And when Alexander Mokdon chose his fighters, he didn't have tests like we have today. Today you have millions of tests to try and find out what is the best thing to do in the army or in life. He didn't have it. They actually looked at body. And I have a question for you about your body. And the question is, who do you think spends more time on his feet, loves to be on his feet, and who is less? If we talk about the length of the legs, if the legs are shorter than the body without the head, does that mean that he loves to walk along, doesn't love to sit? Or the opposite, the legs are longer than his body? What do you think? When the legs are shorter, it means, yes, the legs are shorter. Anthony says he has no idea. You'll see people with shorter legs, not in a way of a person can be tall, okay? A person can be tall, but if the legs are shorter, like Messi, Maradona, okay, it's for example, but the person can be tall, that means that they love to walk along. Chantel, people with shorter legs, they don't sit any moment. My wife, for example, is all the time on the move. I know that Chantel is all the time on the move. Okay, we can see it on the body. So that's very interesting. If we talk about the 5 facial features, we have the eyes that are the windows of the soul. They reveal a lot of your emotion state and your openness. And we're going to talk about stress. You can actually see in this chapter, I will show you how you can see a person who is very under stress. The mouth, the forehead, the nose, the ears, also the face itself. And if we look at this picture, okay, this picture is of Sheikh Nasrallah. Sheikh Nasrallah was killed a few months ago in Israel. He was not in Israel. He comes from Beirut, from Beirut, and he was the leader of Lebanon. But if we look at this picture, is he under stress when this picture is portrayed? What do you say? Is he under stress or not? You can write down. Is Maria says yes. Friends, not stress. Vikram is right. Not only that he's not, he's in command. Yes, Vikram, you're right. His hand is pointing out, he's showing strength and power. He will do this and he will do that. By the way, if you look at his tongue, you can see that he doesn't eat enough vegetables. Okay, he doesn't eat enough vegetables. It's seen on the tongue. But on this picture, he doesn't show that he's on stress. But if we look at the next picture, okay, if we look at the next picture, if we look at this picture, is he on stress in stress here? Yes, he's messed up. Yes, indeed. First of all, his hand, the way it's portrayed on his face, but his eye. We'll come to the eye in a second. This picture was taken few days after his headquarters was bombed in 2006, and he had to come out and show the world that he's alive. So how do we actually see that a person is under stress? Hold on. If we look at this picture, and it's very, very important for me to portray, first of all, if you look at a person, okay, and you see, okay, if you look at the eyes, you have the iris, and you have this whiteness below the iris on the eye itself, it means that the person is in the third stage. He's under stress. The presence of the white in the sclera in both irises means that the person is under tension. Okay, it's not something that he wakes up in the morning and is stressed. It's something that takes time to happen. Okay, it takes time to happen, and it shows that he is under stress. By the way, we can see people. I can actually see from looking here who is under stress. You can actually see through the photo, and it's very, very good when you want to understand people if they're under tension. This is an amazing sign that the person is under stress. So it's a great tip to give you. And the next question for you, and see how amazing your face is. Who is more emotional? A person with big eyes or small eyes? Okay, what do you think? Okay, if we talk about a big, exactly. If we talk about big eyes, okay, big eyes, the bigger the eyes, the more emotional the person is, the more he portrays high emotional expression. Okay, the emotion plays a very big part in our understanding people. If we look at my eyes are relatively small. Okay, they're relatively small and they are hidden. Okay, I have a fold, like a fold that is a way of me keeping my emotion inside. It doesn't mean that I'm not emotional, but the bigger the eyes, the more open they are, the more the person bases his decisions on, yeah, Chantel eye, exactly. Yes, Wendy, you can see it in Chantel, those big eyes. And if we talk about Selena is like me. Selena's eyes are like mine, like we see on the right person, okay? And he has another, that's your eyes. What's your name? Wait, let me see. Yoke, yeah, Yoke. Where are you from, Yoke? A lovely name you have.
South Africa.
South Africa, oh, amazing. So the eyes, the shape of the eyes tell a lot about the personality, the angle, the size. It tells an interesting story. And the next thing that I'm going to ask you guys and ladies, and it's not a matter of who is being more confident. It's a matter of understanding how a person takes things upon himself. Who feels that he can take upon himself more things without the knowledge? A person with wide face or narrow face? Who takes upon himself? Yes, Chantel, wide face. Okay, and we talk about Chantel and And lots of people here, you have white faces. People generally who have white face have this feeling. They feel that they can take upon themselves lots of things. It doesn't mean that they are confident, because confidence can be changed by your partner, by your kids, by your parents. They can actually implicate and change the way you feel, and your boss can also change. But the ability to take upon yourself things, people with white face. If we talk about Chantel, because I know Chantel relatively well, because I'm only two months in this group. But Chantel, okay, she firstly she takes upon herself. She takes on herself, and then she said what she took about herself. The white face shows that, and if your face is narrow, it means that the confidence is built by knowledge. Before they enter a new project or a new thing, they will learn everything about it. So it doesn't mean that they are not confident. It means that they are confident to say that they don't know something. Okay, they are willing to step forward and learn things. It doesn't mean that they are less confident, but it means that they are willing to take upon themselves things, and it's very, very great. And if we talk about great leaders, as you see, most of the great leaders have Nelson Mandela had a white face, Putin, Donald Trump, and the Chinese leader. You can see that most of the leaders have white faces. It doesn't mean that leaders are not all the leaders have white faces, but generally lots of the leaders have white faces. And now we go into a tricky question, because it's firstly, you must remember that the face has more than 110 facial features. The body language also plays a part. So you can't just say, if I say this person has thick lower lip, it means that he's generous, and a person with thin lower lip, it means that he's not generous. It means that generally the way that they behave, and you take to account different things, it can actually tell a story. So generally a person with full lower lip, generally they are always giving. They have lots of giving. Sometimes they give too much, and they have struggles receiving presents. And if your lower lip is thin, it doesn't mean that you don't like to give. It means that when you give, it has lots of meaning. And by the way, if your lips are thin, okay, the whole lips are thin, it can mean that you have tough childhood. By the way, they had the actual testing of the whole thing. If we talk about your face, okay, there was a test that they made, that there were 20 guys that went into jail, and they had thick lips, and after 20 years they were in jail, they had to close. They didn't have lips, because they had to keep themselves. If we talk about keeping yourself from saying things, your face closes in. So if you have thin lips, it means that you keep a lot in yourself emotionally, especially the lower lip. And by the way, you can actually, without you using all the Botox and injections, you can actually physically, by doing face yoga, there's a new field called, I don't know if it's new, but by doing face yoga, you can actually thicker your lips, make changes to your face, which are excellent. And we're coming to the last thing on face reading, and then I will have tiny tips on social networking. So my next question is, do you know, okay, those people who automatically say no to you even before they have the idea? Or do you know those people who always say yes, 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 but at the end of the day, they'll do what they want? Or do you know these people that are capable of arguing for the sake of argue, and when they feel that they're right, they will go for it? So actually, your chin tells a story. If your chin is very pointed, I have three daughters, and my wife have pointed chin, and every time that I have to ask them to do something, I have to ask nicely. I have to appeal to their emotion. Okay, they say no, and it's not a matter of being anti. It's a way they protect themselves, and when they don't agree with something, they can be under pressure. People that have a very rounded chin usually are very flexible. They are easygoing and adaptable. They can come and be a bit obedient. And if your chin is very square, you'll see that lots of military leaders, generals, fighters, boxers, Mike Tyson and that, they have a very, very square chin. Generally, people who have a square chin, they can be have a strong fighting spirit. It doesn't mean that they are anti, but when they feel the right, they go with the righteousness, and it can be a strength. It can be a strength when you a legislator. It can be a very strength, but sometimes they can be very, very, very not so easy. And for the last, almost the last chapter that we have, I'm trying to move as fast as possible and give you as much as can in this short time. But the camera position is so important. It's very important, and most of you guys have done it. You are in, when I see this, your faces, you keep eye level contact. It's very important to keep the eye level contact, because when you give the eye level contact, you don't look above the people and you don't look below. If your camera is above, it shows that you are below. And if you are above the camera, it shows that the people are below. It's very important to have the same level. Don't be too close. When you're too close, it's like physical. When we talk to one another, we should keep a small space, and it can help you show your hands. Remember when I said showing your hand is very important. Try and have as less background messing. If you do have background things, try and have it related to your topic or things that are very important. And lightning should be at you, okay, not against you, okay. Lightning should shine you. Most of you do it very well. When you sit, when you have to sit, sometimes try and be 90 degrees. Have your shoulders relax, okay, relax. Look very, sometimes people lean forward and they have what we call problematic to the neck. And the last thing, we have almost a few minutes to go, and it's something for us, okay, for VSAI. And I had to do it because it comes from my heart. About 2 months ago, less or so, we all did these beautiful props, okay. You guys went and you photographed and you did power props, and you actually went the whole way. You did a very great job. But what happened? I looked at the VCAI site, our YouTube site, and hardly, sorry to say, hardly it wasn't shared enough. Some of you guys have very few shares. So it is a missed opportunity, because if you do so, what do you do when you expose the pictures or the photos that, or what you do? More viewers watch you. You have for yourself. It shows that you are doing great things, and it also helps VCAI. VCAI, part of us we are a big group of almost 400 people, and what we can do, we can share our props, our films, whatever we do, we share it. It's our things. I mean, we have here beautiful people that did. I looked at all of them, and when I looked afterwards, how many people watched on YouTube? Hardly. So share the props, share it with everyone, and you guys and everyone in this should actually go into the YouTube's pictures, or not pictures, films, and look at them, because they are great. Look at them. And another great advice, last two advices that I have. One, it's called, and I don't get any money for that, but this is an amazing site. It's called Photo Filler. Okay, Photo Filler. What is it? It's an online platform that provides users with unbiased feedback on their photos. Okay, so when you put your photo in your site, okay, you can actually, it will evaluate the quality of your photo. If it's on LinkedIn, if it's on WhatsApp, everywhere you want to put, if it's on Facebook, if it's on whenever you want to put your photo, please do the Photo Filler. It will help you greatly. And of course, you will receive this presentation, and you will have it. And the last thing, okay, yesterday or 2 days ago, came out this podcast that Cecilia and Chantel and me did together, okay? And it was an amazing. And by the way, if you look at the YouTube, it's already have quite a lot of people that have seen that because I actually pushed it and I shared it and all that. But there is also a great site for you guys, a great application, and I don't get paid for it. It's called Opus Clip. It's your AI shortlist video creation. It's a powerful tool. You take your 15 minutes, 20 minutes film that you created, it actually clips it into 10, 15, 20 different films. It gives animated captions. It auto resizes to every platform that you want. It also predicts the score, how hook you have, how great it is. And also you have a calendar there that it can actually put into all the sites, if it's YouTube, if it's Facebook, if it's TikTok, if it's LinkedIn, and then you can actually set up for the whole month, the films that you want to put, and you become like a social machine. I've done it for 2 months, and in my YouTube, I have 1,000 people who are looking at my films a day, and I only started it 2 months ago. I have in TikTok, and in TikTok, I have more than 10,000 followers. That's not that I'm a magician, okay? It's me sharing with you this thing. And lastly, personal face reading. Yes, no charge. If you're curious about what your face reveals about you, I'm offering a personal face reading via Zoom. We'll set up together in the next 2 weeks. You must just send the message to my WhatsApp number, 972-5433-95595, and we'll schedule and we'll see what your face says about it. And I tried my best to fill. I know it's lots of material that I gave. I enjoyed myself. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I love your applauses.
Yes.
And addressing to everyone, I'm here to help you guys. And also this, I'm taking this amazing virtual speakers as a project. So if you want to use me as much as you want. For example, yeah, I can help you. I can help, for example, the YouTube, your picture, whatever you do in this group, social wise, I will help you as much as I can. I will allocate few hours a week. Just say what you want me to do, and I think socially I can help bring up, boost up more engagement, more things to do. I'm here for you.
Thank you so much. So many wonderful comments in the chat. So many nuggets, and I saw it several times. Like, we're gonna have to replay this video over and over and over just to pick up all those details, because we know you had so much packed in there. We also posted the link. Check it out on the VSAI socials and in WhatsApp group. His extended version with Chantel and I for about 30 minutes. So you've got another 30 minutes and different content than what you saw today. So it should be a nice blend of both. Welcome. We're going to take a quick 60 seconds. I see Lindsay Adams there. Lindsay, tell us how we're doing for GSS.
Okay, how we're going for GSS? We are going gangbusters. We have so many exciting things to report. We are past the halfway mark. Our goal is to have 400 delegates and 40 partners. We have sold 217 tickets. I sold 2 more today in the last hour. How about that? Thanks, Claire Bosk, for signing up in the last hour. So we're past the halfway mark. We have got an amazing program building in the background. And stay tuned. We are launching the first ever Global Speakers Summit 2026 magazine. And that'll be hitting your inboxes. It'll go to every speaker in the world. So there'll be information about Cairns, the event, messages from our sponsors. It's incredible. A great innovation from our team. And so we're really trying to get the word out right around the world and getting people to come. So exciting times for the summit. Go to gss2026.com. You can register to attend. Once you register to attend, you can apply to speak immediately. We have 4 themes: grow, sell, speak, 26 and beyond. So if you speak in one of those areas, who doesn't, you're in. So we'd love to see your application. We want a really interesting and varied program. We want people from every country across our federation. So get in there. It's going to be a great event.
Wonderful. Thanks. Thank you, Lindsay, for updating us. I did put a few more just reminders, upcoming dates, save the dates. April 23. Most often, most months, for those of, we have some new members here today. We do a second Wednesday of the month and a fourth, see my hand gestures just noting right there, fourth Wednesday of the month for an educational webinar like this. They vary month to month, and speakers like Eytan, who came in today to volunteer his time to support this community. I am actually leading the session on 23 of April, but it's a new offering. It's a 2-hour deep dive, and it is strategic planning for your business. You're going to have worksheets and tools, and you get work time interactive with this community to work on your business, not just in your business. So feel free to join me for that. Registration is up on your VSAI dashboard under events, and stay tuned. Registration is coming for our 21 of May summit. That will be a 4-hour packed powerhouse of speakers and panel and resources for you. We want you to come for all of it, but you can come for part of it. If that's all you can do that day, we'll take you any way we can get you. That registration will be opening soon, but save the date, 21 of May, Humanize, bringing in a virtual world and on every stage, how do we connect even more powerfully so your impact is that much more profound. So thank you for being here today. Delighted. I see the messages coming in. Stay around if you want to chat for a few minutes. Otherwise, have a great rest of your day. Take care, everybody. Wonderful. All right. Thanks, everybody.